there's a lot of people with birthdays today. A lot of people.
It is. Happy birthday, Lynn. May the birthday birdie not poop on your toe.
That's
personal story. Everyone has one of that. And, I have never, birds have pooped on me, but not, like in Home Depot, but not on my birthday. So we decided that it's extra special if a birdie poops on you on your birthday.
Well, did you see the movie Under the Tuscan Sun?
I've seen it, which had other than the title, it had almost no relationship to the book.
Right on. So the movie, though, when she's going to buy the villa and the birds crapped on her and they said it was good luck. So maybe that's your friend's birthday blessing.
I think so.
I like it. I do. So, you know what? We've got episodes stacked up here, and I just need to, because this was my lead story and you brought it up the other day. If you didn't listen to the other show, please do check out the Cam Soda dildo that's coming soon that will allow you to order pizza.
Okay.
That really needs to get out there because, again, do you want your sex toys shopping?
No.
Just saying.
No, I don't. No. Although if I did, I would probably order Chinese.
See?
Yeah, I need a different vibrator.
Yeah. And if they're going to pick, the one thing that they direct this thing to buy is a Domino's cheese pizza. Do you know anybody besides people under the age of 10 that eat just cheese pizza?
No, I don't. Even my daughter has finally ordered non-cheese pizza.
Seriously, they choose like elementary school fare to order.
I hadn't thought about that. And I'm really creeped out.
Yeah. I'm like, what are you doing, you guys? What are you doing? Okay. So anyway, check out the Rub Grub dildo. And again, we questioned the wisdom of that name. It also, okay, we're moving on. moving
So what
on.
do we have on today's episode of the Great Northern Sex Cast?
Oh, much, much more.
Good, because I have not looked at the emails. I have not checked my social media. There's been stuff going on.
Yeah,
So I'm going into today blind, and I sort of like that.
I actually enjoy you when you're like that because it's the element of surprise works tremendously in my favor. So I'm okay with the fact that you did not prepare for the show. I'm good. So, these come up and they're not all Reddit threads, but there are some mixed in here. But it's kind of funny when and I like this grouping of things, but it's sex habits that women hate because everybody's been through it. Right?
Okay.
Yep. And the first one makes me laugh because to me, there is no sex if this component, if this happens, dodgy kissing. If you're a bad kisser, you're not getting in my pants. It's just not going to happen.
It's so distracting when someone's trying to eat your face, or I don't know how to explain it. It's just like, it's weird.
Yeah.
How do you get to the sex part?
You can't.
I don't understand.
You can't. And, I did make the mistake in my very early 20s once of trying to retrain a kisser. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's like trying to change a man. It doesn't happen. Or a partner or whatever.
A much better woman than I wouldn't have been anywhere near that.
Yeah, I tried and I finally did absolutely give up. So, dodgy kitching is the first one. The one thing is she's like, hey, nibble on my earlobe, but what makes you think spitting in my actual ear is attractive?
Well, huh?
People slobber in your ear really bad. It's disgusting.
Oh, no.
It's disgusting.
And if you're really ticklish, you got to find, sometimes the nibbling, not good.
Yeah. Yeah. Foreplay blenders. Now, this is so broad. Like, where do you even start with that, right?
So would one of them be get too drunk?
That's actually later.
Oh.
Okay, so you booze, you lose.
So we're pre even booze here.
Well, but I suppose these are interchangeable in some cases, but like one woman said, which cracks me up, giving my boob a grab and a squeeze is not foreplay.
Okay, I'm assuming I have to make the assumption she's talking about that's all of the foreplay. I've grabbed your boob, I have squeezed it, and now we are ready to go.
Which, I'm sorry, but what point is the squeezing? I mean, like, there's good, you know what I mean? Like, if we really, really wanted to go there, like, boob squeezing in and of itself, not so much for me.
It's just, depending on, it can be uncomfortable, it can be cool, but just... I'm picturing like someone is doing like the laundry, and then like So they, wanders up, grabs her breast, grabs the boob, squeezes it, and like that's supposed to like turn her on.
Right. No, that's what she's saying. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
No.
The other one was high speed, and might be great for internet, but not so much for rubbing the clit.
Oh God, yeah. I laughed at this so hard. I've seen a couple of episodes. I know Sex and the City did this, a couple others, like the jackrabbit sex.
Oh, yeah.
This is not,
Yeah. Where she hurts her neck and has to be in the wedding, and then he loses his shit at the reception.
I don't know.
God, I missed that show.
I giggle over that because I see that, you don't want to go, and then when you've got the other folks that say it just takes too damn long, you need the Goldilocks sex. You need just right.
Yes, I agree. I absolutely.
Which, of course, I just went into a kids thing again, which creeps me out when I do that. Oh, God. Yeah. This is why, like, the vibrating rubber duckies and other things, when I see a personal toy made for an adult that is anything remotely reminiscent of a children's toy, it creeps me out to no end.
It's like the cheese pizza.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, it's wrong. It's sick and wrong. Mm-hmm. Porn problems. Now, I thought when I saw the headline of this section that it would be like too obsessed with porn, but no, they're talking about guys that think that you try to have sex like they're in a porn movie. And like this one girl, I like her quote. She's like, I dated this gorgeous man, absolutely model type, tall, well-educated, amazing, but he had sex like he was in a bad porn film. Jackrabbiting, changing positions every 10 seconds. 15 seconds in one position was generous, and it wasn't smooth with the transition. So it was just, she was exhausted, and she like gave up.
There was, and I could not figure out how to print it out or to do it, but there was a recent article, whether it was in the New York Times or whether it was Star Tribune or something I just found randomly on the web, about how the difficulties with guys like under 20 and teenagers. I mean, they're watching porn and they're thinking they're supposed to be able to do all this. They're supposed to hold the woman up and have sex while standing. They're supposed to like last forever. They're supposed to be able to do all these things.
Yep.
And it's just I'm coming up with the word suffocating, but that's the one I want. But demoralizing or this or that, it hinders the growth because I mean the guys think this is what women want. And it's just as bad as, I mean, and they don't have anywhere to ask. So there were actually programs out there in schools, and this is where the article was going, about understanding what you're seeing. I mean, you don't think that lightsabers are real, but for some reason, people think that porn is real.
Well, they're seeing it, though.
They're seeing it, yeah.
Without realizing that it's edited.
Edited. And there was like trying to figure out like your porn quotient. But I mean, you can't even get people to talk about like sex in a normal way, much less bringing in porn quotient. But after guys have seen, we're talking about you guys in their teens and early 20s have like taken this class, learned this sort of stuff. They're like, oh my God. I mean, they're actually more comfortable approaching because they're like, but if I can't perform like that, how do I? So but there's no one telling them this.
Actually, that's a really interesting point. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I never, I never had any idea. But like you said, yeah, a lightsaber is not real because you've never seen it. But people know a penis going into a vagina happens all the time. Mm-hmm. So there's no detachment from this. Like, okay, well, this must be true because it's possible. Right?
Yeah.
Interesting. Maybe. That's cool. And so New York Times, you said?
It was the Times or the Star Tribune. Somewhere I saw it, but I think if you were to Google it, I'll have to search for it. I'm sure I can find it again, talking about sort of like your porn IQ or your porn quotient, or there was it's like that about just adding that to sex ed so that people, know what they're looking at, how to figure it out. Because I mean, you have classes. You learn when you Google something about what's a good site, what's not, how to reverse image something, whether to look and see whether it's .com or whether there's other stuff in there. I mean, I get fake PayPal stuff all the time.
So do I.
I get the IRS stuff. I got a fake electrical bill thing, and sometimes I'm like I get a couple more steps farther than I'm a little embarrassed to admit, but I never fall for it. But I finally figure it out. But to learn how to discern what you're looking at.
For sure. I got, oddly, on that same thing, the PayPal stuff is pretty obvious. All you have to do is hold your cursor up over the email address and it'll show you something completely weird. But I did have one, you know, I'm anybody who knows me knows I'm a Coach purse freak. And I have a collection. I love them. And so I have ordered from their website many times. I got an email from them and, you know, it was everything. I mean, they even asked for my account login, and that's how I got in, and I bought something on sale. And then when I got the confirmation, it was this company in China. And so I had used my debit card. So this is like Kelly's little public service announcement, because that's how I bought stuff from them before. It wasn't them. I mean, Colleen, that site, it was exact, and I had no idea. And so I went right to my bank. Two things I learned. One, don't use your debit card. Which, you know, because I try not to put anything on credit, you know, that was my thing. But so I had to stop that. Well, then I get a nasty gram from China. And I have to say, although it was in somewhat broken English, I was impressed at how good the English was. I was impressed. Telling me, you know, why did you stop payment, whatever. And I wrote him back. And we actually exchanged a few emails. And I said, because you completely defrauded me. I mean, you know, and whatever. And so it was weird, but just be really, really careful. I was astounded at the level of quality of the deception.
We're going to shut off your power phone call and Excel thing that I got from one of the stores a few weeks ago was fascinatingly good. I mean, even when I called the number, their phone tree was almost identical, even in voice tone.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh.
Wow.
Yeah, just this past week, I got the IRS phone call, and what was the other one? But I did get the, they don't do that.
That's okay, this one tickles the hell out of me. By the way, we are still talking about sex habits that women hate. Just we needed to remind ourselves what we were talking about.
I'm the tangent woman today.
Yeah, well, we always do this. This one tickles me. Stop, start. And the quote is, one explained, if I say yes, don't stop, I mean don't stop. I want you to do the exact thing that you're doing, exactly how you're doing it. I don't mean double down, speed up, adjust, slow down, do what you're doing the way you're doing. I mean, and can't you just, have you ever been there? Because maybe it was so funny because I've been there. Like, don't revise, don't stop. Pretty straightforward. God. And then the last one was you booze, you lose. And that one, of course, refers to whiskey dick. Speaking of dicks, we're fans of those around here. A man with two penises, and they both work. And have you ever heard of this before?
No. I mean, I know that people can buy. We used to sell something called, the accommodator, which was this chin strap with a penis on it. So you could, oh, God. Oh, and then other thing. And then there was a double dick vibrator once, but an actual human being?
Yeah, this is for real. He goes by Double D Dude, and he took part in an Ask Me Anything thread on Reddit about 4 years ago. And since then, he's released a book about life with, did you know there's a technical term? Yep, there sure is. Diphalia, a condition which only affects 1 in 5.5 million boys, and they are born with two penises, okay? So both of the appendages work, and apparently with this condition, usually one does not. It just sort of hangs there. And he said a lot of people want to know what sex is like with this. And he goes, this is weird. He says he can ejaculate out of both at the same time. And he says, but when I'm masturbating, I usually just use the right one. So he's got a right.
Okay, so it's right and left, not up and down. I don't know why.
I suppose it could be any way.
We should. Oh, yeah. I don't know why I was thinking top and bottom and not right and left.
Yeah. And he likes stimulation of both at the same time during actual sex. And he's had offers to star in porn, but he decided against it. Instead, he wants to remain anonymous. But he's fine with getting out there and answering questions. But one thing I find really interesting about this guy's story is how his parents dealt with him as a child. Listen to this. His parents taught him that he was unique, but they never wanted him to feel like a freak. So his dad and his parents said, look, just don't tell people about your privates because we don't want people to get jealous. They put it that way, which I think is pretty interesting. And
I'm actually quite surprised. I mean, that I don't know what the cosmetic surgery would be on that, but
You can do it, I suppose.
I suppose you could do it. I mean, a lot of folks that are born with an extra finger or toe at one point decide not to do that. But then again, that's more visible.
Yeah.
I just,
Interesting, right?
I in all these years, that's fascinating.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that this is a Great Northern Sex Cast first. So there you go. Okay. I don't know why this is funny, but
okay.
it is. So a model goes on a Tinder date completely naked, but the guy has no idea because she's wearing body paint and he doesn't figure it out. And long story short, I mean, it's kind of a cute story actually, but long story short, it doesn't come to light until they're walking down the street and another girl said, body paint. And then all of a sudden he's like, oh my God, she's actually naked. And she did it kind of on a lark.
Oh, okay. It took me a second. So they go on a date
And
he picks her up.
Or she meets him.
Or wherever they are.
Yeah.
And she's like it's like they painted on like a pantsuit. I mean,
jeans and a top. This artist is that good. Jen, the body painter. But she's not, the model wasn't the artist.
Yeah. Okay, do you suppose maybe he glanced for a moment and then did the thing where he's just going to try and,
No, at one point he said...
Okay, I'm way confused.
I thought you were naked for a few seconds. And she goes, why would you think that? I wouldn't come to a first date naked. And then she stands up and shows off her outfit. And now he's like, okay. And then they start walking. They're in a shopping mall. And then a girl goes, body paint. And he's like, is that really body paint? And she played it for as long as she could. And then finally she said, well, do you still want to call me? And he's like, would you wear clothes next time? So, yeah. But I mean, that's pretty ballsy.
Oh, I just tried to... Cause, I mean, I've seen lots of wonderful body paint, but nothing looked that real. I'm really confused. Maybe he was just so excited that model would date him. I mean, total... I
don't know.
That is... I'm not sure that he may still want to date her, but I'm not sure why she would want to date someone that didn't get it out. Yeah. Oh, who knows?
All the guys are going to sit down and grab their crotches now. A man gets his penis stuck in a spanner, and the medics have to cut him loose. This one does not sound like it ends well, but I'm going to give it away. It does.
Okay.
Do you know what a spanner is?
No.
It's a double-ended tool with one end being like an open-end wrench or open end.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And the other end is like a box wrench or a ring spanner. And so, okay.
Yeah.
So basically, he was a tradesman. He got his privates cut. The doctors and nurses could not get the man's tool free from the other tool. And they had to call in actual firefighters.
So did he say that he was working on a project nude and slipped and fell into it?
You know what's so hysterically funny is they actually don't even get in that.
They don't even.
There is one thing.
Okay.
It says he was very vague about how the spanner became stuck, saying it was an accident. Once freed, he was very embarrassed, but otherwise unhurt. So let's just be honest. The dude was trying to fuck the spanner.
It's a hole, and he put his dick in it.
Yeah. We talk about interesting forays into cosmetic alterations all the time. And they may be for any number of reasons, but the latest one, belly button shaping.
Okay, so I mean, is this after a massive weight loss or abdominal injuries, stuff like that, or a C-section?
Sometimes you just want an innie if you've got an outie.
I guess I can see that.
You know, I think this fall and excess skin weight loss is definitely in there too. But you know, I'm all about if you don't like it and it's, you know, you can afford it and it's not life, threatening, knock yourself out, whatever makes you happy. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, just at one point there are people that are addicted to it, but I think that, I would assume that the majority of the majority of folks who do this sort of surgery probably, there's only a few that get past, like the cat lady and a few other Barbie girl and stuff like that. But that's so rare. That's why it makes the news. Yeah, it's going through there.
For sure. So Henry is the 6-foot tall RoboHunk sex doll, $15,000 US. And he can welcome you home after a hard day at work. He can chat about TV and films, crack a joke, and recite your favorite poem.
So we finally got an equivalent male doll.
Yeah.
That is 15 grand, huh?
Yep. Yeah.
Honestly, I'd much rather travel.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Real Botics is the company, and Henry was unveiled last week, and we'll see. So I don't know. I mean, it's not going away, Megan. I'm just saying, the robots are here. They're not just coming; they're here.
I mean, I get it. I mean, I certainly, am glad that I'm no longer like washing laundry by hand. I like to have dishwashers and clothes washers, and I'm rather fond of my Mr. Coffee and a whole bunch of other things.
However,
and I like my car. It gets me around, but I don't. But I'm driving a reasonable car. I don't. Maybe if it wasn't 15,000, there's like a price point where something, in my opinion,
what's
is
your price
beyond.
point?
I don't know. I would rather travel than have sex with a robot.
Okay,
That's
completely fair.
I'm pretty sure. That. If you really, maybe someone just, maybe it's $15,000 that you don't have to deal with the toilet seat up. I don't know.
There's so many ways we could go with this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, or you just, and it's not, the stereotype is that men are afraid to talk to women, but obviously there's going to be some women and some, men, wherever, that are afraid to talk to men.
Yeah.
But 15 grand. That's the part where it's so beyond my realm of understanding that's what, but then again, some people would go, well, why would you travel when you get everything you have at home? So, but everybody's got their own things, but
yeah,
15 grand?
Yeah, that's a lot of money. I mean, when a vibrator, even one of the better ones, is a couple hundred, or less, not even that much for the really good stuff. Liz, I wonder if Liz is in the building, but she said, I swear to God, I know this happened in the early months of the Great Northern Sex Cast, where she went on a tirade, hilarious, by the way, regarding the fact that ducks are rapists. And we've got an article that I have sent to Miss Megan, and ducks are rapists. But basically, there's this whole article called Rumble in the Jungle, the World's Most Sex-Crazed Animals. And read this. I was like, really? But, it starts out with this story of a family that were driving around, through one of those wildlife parks. And they had to cover the eyes of their 3 kids because the male lions all began to mount one another. And, there's homosexual sex in the animal world. Oh, yeah. It's crazy. Anyway, lions, I did not know this, generally male lions, sleep 20 hours a day and screw for 4. Because the females do the hunting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah. So there you go.
So I pulled up Henry here.
Yeah.
They've given him like an 8-pack. He has, not the best part. They have him posed in this picture with his hand down his pants like they do in like male. It's hilarious. He's got like a 2-day beard growth, a little shadow on there.
Let me see. Oh yeah, no. He looks like oh God, he looks like a bad TV show star.
No. If you made him dark haired, he looks like the character in the short Prince in Shrek.
Okay, you know who he looks like too? He looks like one of the guys, Siegfried and Roy. He looks like Roy. Yeah. He looks like Roy. That's so
yeah. If those two, obviously he's 6 foot. That's hilarious.
Yeah,
absolutely hilarious.
Dolphins have sex up to 50 times a day. Did you know that? But it only lasts 20 seconds. Dolphins are also notoriously bisexual. Did you know that?
No, dolphins seem to be pretty happy. So
well, and they also masturbate. bottlenose dolphins have been known to wrap live eels around their penises as a form of masturbation. Now, that's some kinky shit right there. And how do they wrap it around? Do you grab them with your flippers? Like, how does that work?
Okay, I'm doing that thing where I stare at the ceiling because my brain is attempting to work out the mechanics of this.
The eel would have to be complicit because dolphins don't have thumbs.
So what do the eels get out of this?
Unclear.
Oh yeah, you see, when you go through that, when we go through the animal stuff, is that creatures on this planet were just weird ass creatures. That's all there is to it. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. There's another. It's kind of like a mouse thing. It's a rat-sized marsupial called the Antechinus. I don't know. But these things, they're from Australia.
Okay.
They don't try to kill you, but the males have sex so much they exhaust themselves and die. and these things gestate for 27 days. So, I mean, doesn't take long to be born, and then the males are basically, live fast, screw a lot, and die. It's basically how it works for those.
Yeah, seems to have, propagated the species okay. I mean, there's this bird that I hear that I love the show Wait, Don't Tell Me. One of their questions the other day was, there's a bird that has sex with one bird, and then she has a side bird that when the one male is gone, brings over the side bird, and then has sex with that, and then when that one's on, brings back the main bird.
Okay.
So I'm like, so this is, this is this bird is making sure that it has plenty of genetic material.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah. I just like that it's just waiting over like in the shrubs. Just have, has extra birdies.
I'll be with you in a moment.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay, you're up.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And now go on and bring back the first guy.
God, that sounds like a lot of choreography.
I know.
Good God.
And it's birdies. I mean, they got little tiny brains.
They're birds.
It's all about sex.
When I was in Phoenix or Scottsdale over the weekend, we were sitting outside at this Mexican place. It was lovely. And there were these good-sized birds, the usual typical little sparrowy birds or whatever were all over the place. But these were particularly large birds. And they were coming in and stealing the chips from the tables that hadn't been bussed. I sat and watched those things for like a half an hour. And then, of course, it's fun to vocalize what they could be thinking as they're doing it. Yeah.
Well, that's what margaritas will do to you. Maybe.
Monkeys are interesting. They do all sorts of interesting things. They swap sex for food. They do make-up sex. But I think the weirdest thing in the monkey world was a male that was seen grabbing an unsuspecting frog for what must rank as the weirdest blowjob ever. Poor frog. Frog rape.
Oh, that's
so wrong on so many levels. I cannot.
Can you just imagine? I mean, okay, so you're like the researcher, and you're sitting there, and you're just. I'm hoping that there's somebody else there, or you've got a camera trained, because no one's going to believe that.
I believe it. Yeah. I wonder what that says about me. Unclear. Mm-hmm. I can't even go into the snake one. If anybody, it's so gross. I just don't even want to talk about it. But read the article if you want to. Mm-hmm. Rabbits, baby rabbits. It only takes 30 days for those things to gestate. So that whole thing, fucking like rabbits, is like, that's why, because it's so quick. Litter a month.
Yeah, I have so many baby rabbits in my yard, and my neighbors have a dog. The dog can get into my yard if it wants, but it is so well trained, it does not come into my yard, and so the rabbits lounge like they're on vacation
in front of the dog.
Yeah, they're like in my lawn, and then there's like the 12, then there's the driveway, and then there's a fence. The dog can see them, doesn't care. They lounge in the middle of my yard. There's a large tree. There are wires. So, birds of prey can't get in. A hawk came in through once and it landed on a bird feeder, but it looked really awkward. So no one's swooping down. I mean, the most vicious thing in my yard is when I find dead squirrels on my driveway because one squirrel has decided to attack another squirrel and chuck it out of this big tree. But I have so many freaking rabbits. Oh,
really?
Oh, it's like Club Med for rabbits in my backyard.
Cool. Mm-hmm. I just don't like the plant attacks.
Oh, they eat the clematis. They nibble on my hosta before it's too big.
Yeah.
They've taken out a bunch of other plants, and I'm trying to find the right things. And then that rabbit stuff, the stuff that smells like urine and all that sort of stuff, it works, keeps them away, but then you can't sit in your own damn yard because it reeks.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah. I had them go after some stargazer lilies that I put in last year, and I'm really upset. All I can hope is that one of my dogs, Greta, that she keeps the yard adequately patrolled this summer, because I bought some really neat plants that I'm looking forward to.
Shear them off.
Yeah,
and I'm so
fuckers. Bears, younger male bears go down on each other until they reach sexual maturity at the age of 10. I'm sorry, but have you ever seen the fangs on those things? No. I think that's a very, very, very bad day.
That's
idea.
Yeah, it's way too sharp.
Bats perform oral sex on each other. Who knew? Aerial stunts. Okay, this is super, super funny. Do you remember this? Have you ever heard of the famous Scott's Antarctic expedition that took place back in 1910 to 1913? Yeah. Very, very famous scientific thing. Well, the penguins recorded. They went to observe the penguins, and they had to like not write, because it was just so shocking back in the day. What they actually said, they called it the astonishing depravity of penguins. He saw male penguins having sex with dead females and was so horrified that he wrote about it in Greek to spare the
delicate sensibilities.
Yeah, so the only other scientists would see it. Like, I don't want this getting out because it's so gross. Yuck. That's disgusting. There's a certain kind of monkey that screw deer, and this has been documented. Yeah, in Japan. Yeah, 14 separate cases of macaque monkeys performing sex acts on female silka deer. Thoughts?
I just, you go out there and everyone's trying to say that, there's only one way to do it that is correct. And I think the natural world is explaining to us supposedly stronger, bigger brained people that we're wrong. Some of this sounds non-consensual, which I don't know how that works in animal land with, not having particularly sentient brains, but
what would the no means no campaign look like in that scenario? Unclear.
I have no idea. Maybe that's one reason we got opposable thumbs, so that we could figure out how to write and communicate and write things down and speech and all that sort of stuff. Speech and thumbs. We can find. They can say no. I think if dolphins and other things could actually, communicate at a higher level, I think they'd probably say no too.
Oh yeah. Well, Liz was right. The horrible truth about rapist ducks, and it's confirmed in the article. They said ducks are the sexual predators of the animal kingdom. And then this Yale professor, Richard Prum, says their penises are weird. They are not straight. They're fleshy, sometimes longer than their whole bodies. They shoot out in spirals. They come in ribbed, ridged, and even toothy varieties, likening them to an alien sex toy. I love ducks, and this is disturbing.
I just saw some the other day. It's like it's snowing. It was snowing like crazy a few days ago, and I saw ducks in my neighborhood. I'm like, I suppose there's enough open water still with people who put like fountains in their ponds or something like that. But I'm seeing ducks again, and it's February. It's very strange. I mean, yeah.
By the time we get to March every year, that's my I call it my denial month, because I'm like, it's over. I keep telling myself it's over. Winter.
Well, with all the melt we've been having, I don't know, sidewalks and everything, it's puddles during the day, ice rinks in the morning.
Yeah.
And it's just because it drops down.
Harrowing getting in the car today. Okay. I really don't know how I feel about this one.
Okay.
It's okay. Las Vegas strippers, good for them. They make a good living. A lot of them do. The really good ones, but they are getting tattooed with barcodes so that the people can come and tip them scanning the barcodes. I was really freaked out about the actual tattoo. A lot of them are just temporary tattoos.
Okay.
But here's the thing. It's not just being tipped with like your chip card. They use Bitcoin. And this is so they can hide the transactions from partners at home, husbands, wives, whatever.
Well, considering in fact how many places take a percentage of tips.
Yeah.
That too. I mean, they're the naked person. Make your money on the booze. Make your money on the entrance fee or whatever you need.
They'll let the naked people
But the naked people should make the damn money.
Right.
I've never, yeah.
Yeah. So, it's kind of an interesting, it's an interesting thing. So, and I highlighted the last part of the article because this is something you've run up against. She talks about certain banks will shut down your account and deny you from having an account because we work in the adult entertainment industry. And I know that you've experienced weirdness like this with your businesses as well.
Well. And the thing is, I mean, that's one hell of a tip because isn't like a Bitcoin like supposedly worth over $1,000 or more now or something?
For a while they got up to 7,000.
Oh, okay.
So I believe it's done in fractions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I was just, I mean, I get it, but I sort of don't get it. I'm just like, I mean, if everyone agreed that, people believe, they agreed that shells or coffee beans or anything was worth a certain amount of monetary. So if you get enough people to agree on anything, it's got its worth.
Yeah.
But I think I'd still rather have cold hard cash.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Versus some anomaly, just a bunch of ones and zeros in a system somewhere.
Well, and it's not secured by any kind of a government anywhere, and so it could get hacked. It could be like but to each. Ex-fitness model makes $2,100 a month selling smelly socks online. Why don't I think of this?
I know. I'm just like I'm always fascinated by the used underwear socks, but socks. I mean, those are easy enough to find.
Yeah.
So she wears the socks and then sells them.
Yeah. No, I mean, basically, his name is Master Stefano is what he goes through. He's a Czech guy living in LA. He's got a website called Pay Your Existence. So he enlists various slaves to pay for his lavish lifestyle. So they just order and have goods sent to him, but he also sells smelly socks, and he's a dominator.
Oh, okay.
So that's what that is.
Well, I just, it's not just women. There are plenty of guys, that can do this too. He's probably, obviously media savvy, good marketing, and sets his own hours. I mean, this is how that, when you're talking about work like that or sex work in general, I mean, there are a lot of positives to it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, I say all power to you, especially in something like that. I'm going to save, wait a minute. Let me just look here.
Okay.
I've got one I'm saving for last.
Okay.
Quite frankly, quite possibly one of the best naked stories we've seen in quite some time. Those have been surprisingly sparse.
Because even the
Florida let us down, man.
Yeah, even the streaker. Yeah, even the streaker was wearing like a monkey socks and a tutu. It wasn't completely nude.
Yeah. Okay, couple stories. We'll do these first. This one blew my freaking mind. This was a flight from the UK to Dubai. 24-year-old woman. They were on the plane and they got removed from the plane allegedly because of her menstrual cramps. She said she was talking with her boyfriend about having cramps, and all of a sudden, the flight attendants came and forced them to disembark. They said, and they had to pay $350 each to rebook on a different flight. And basically, the airline said, well, the safety of our passengers and crew is of paramount importance, and we would not have wanted her to have had a medical emergency in flight. And she rated, when they asked her pain on a scale of 1 to 10, she said 1. She was talking about cramps and she got kicked off the plane. Thoughts?
Oh, I don't understand. I mean, there had to be something that they overheard and then they freaked out. But I mean, cramps are, I don't. I had a Vicodin prescription because I had such bad cramps, but it never kept me from. I don't understand what the medical emergency would be. Yeah. Did they not?
Yeah.
Did they? I'm always amazed. I'm like, what goes through people's minds when they make poor decisions like this? I mean, because what happens is that you make like a poor decision, and then what I think it is that you're like in a corner and you can't say you were wrong. I think that has more to do with it than any, no one can say, oh, we screwed up. It's just, people just don't like, they'll just double down on the stupid.
Well, and I mean, this is Emirates Air. So my thought when I read it was, well, they are so anti-woman in the Middle East that, it was just, an extension of that whole.
The extension of ignorance about how female bodies actually work.
Much. That was my thought.
Maybe that too. But like I said, then you just double down on the stupid.
Well, I would double down on getting my money back and then some. I mean, yeah. I don't really... I don't get this next one, so maybe you can break it down for me. Mm-hmm. The photo of the Kardashians tagged with their weight in kilograms. Have you heard about this?
No, I don't.
Apparently, they put their weights. They published their weights. Okay, I am so completely heaved out by the Kardashians that I don't. I shut them out. Mm-hmm. I shut them out. But there's a chick, she's a person on The Good Place, Jamila Jamil. She went on a self-described warpath and responded to the post of saying, here's me, and this is what I weigh. And the whole story is kind of about, body acceptance and thing, but it started a Twitter storm. Mm-hmm. And she said, I've shown you mine, now you show me what you weigh. So hundreds of women are posting photos, and I love this one. I weigh a loving marriage, amazing friends, supportive family, 2 spirited nieces, incredible neighbors, brilliant colleagues. Mm-hmm. So people are starting to say, it's fuck what my actual poundage is. This is what makes me up. Yeah. I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's cool. But the thing is that photographs of humans and their weight, you look different. And I damn well don't look my weight. So the whole thing is, amazingly bizarre. And what I am, you don't have to like them, but you can't not absolutely be amazed at the business acumen of the Kardashian family. I mean, they have made hundreds of millions for just being themselves. That's amazing. I mean, I'm just like, oh my God. I mean, and it all started from a sex tape where someone got where Kim got peed on. And I'm like, this is the most amazing, and now they've got clothing and perfume, and people just pay for them to show up and just be there. I'm like, if someone would pay me $50,000 to show up at a birthday party, I'd say yeah. I mean, but so the weight thing. I mean, people do want to. I mean, we're getting there to where you really shouldn't pay attention to what someone's size is, mm-hmm. but we're not there yet. No. So I'm assuming it's going through there, and I'm like, and we're talking about them.
I know.
And it's like that. And the thing is, but when I see pictures of folks and sizes and stuff like that, it is, I mean, unless you're, I mean, totally like, I mean, I could say that I'm like 180 pounds, but I'm actually 215, or I could say that I'm 250 and I'm actually 250, and you can't really tell in a photograph.
Yeah.
It's going through there. I mean, sometimes it's fairly obvious, it's going through there, but for the most part, I'm like, when this person responds to it, they create the same issue. I mean, just if you don't like something like that, you ignore.
I know.
I don't know why you give it more precedence. I mean, there are certain things that you do respond to, like, that make a difference.
Yep.
But whether or not you agree with someone's weight, no.
I know. The whole Kardashian thing, it's like, I can't imagine. What I want to understand is why people give a shit. That's what I don't get.
I think it's just escapism. It's no different than watching a sci-fi movie or reading a Stephen King book or anything like that. It's a complete and utter escapism.
Okay.
It's just not everything has to just be about something for the most part, something important. So you can have some silliness in your life.
Yeah.
And I've wandered by and seen it on. I look at it and I go, really? Yeah. Well, and I'm sort of fascinated. I'm like, well, that looks like a good meal. I don't know what the hell they're talking about, but I mean, it's 10 minutes of your brain not thinking about, did my kid get a good grade on this test? Did I bring the car in for an oil change? Did I, I'm not thrilled sometimes. I mean, I don't watch a lot of gory murder mysteries because it's not my deal, but that doesn't mean that I don't watch things like Death in Paradise, which is a silly murder mystery thing.
Yeah.
So everybody's got their escapism.
I suppose. It's lost on me.
Yeah.
Lost on me.
Yeah. I mean, I don't watch it. I mean, I don't watch any of the Housewives stuff or any of that stuff. I stopped watching, Top Model and the dress one because it got more about being snippy at each other and being assholes than the actual design. Or the competition.
Yep.
I mean, just people being assholes to other people is not entertainment to me. But then again, horror is not entertainment to me either.
Me neither.
So,
I guess to each his own.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. This comes to us courtesy of Germany.
Okay.
Police in Western Germany have freed 2 men who became entangled with a mannequin and a large remote-controlled car, according to the Associated Press. Officers were called after cries were heard from an apartment in the city of Mainz in the early hours of last Saturday. Police found the 58-year-old man and a 61-year-old visitor hopelessly locked together with the toy car and the mannequin, which was dressed in a knight's costume. So much going on here, I don't know where to start.
Okay. So somehow they have a mannequin dressed as a knight. And is this like one of those like Barbie car? Like a little car that it's in an apartment, so like a car that like a kid would drive?
Probably.
Were they trying to joust?
I bet they were. I bet they were.
Oh, they wow.
Okay.
So
officers were able to free the men who were too drunk to explain how their unfortunate predicament had come about. According to the police statement, the whole thing would have remained a funny episode, but the younger of the two was more than impolite and now faces charges of insulting officers.
Oh, gee.
Like, they were willing to let this go. And somebody opened their mouth. Boy, how many times have I done that?
Oh, my God.
Not with cops, but just in life.
The visuals.
Looking at the ceiling again.
Yeah. The visuals here
for some.
Yeah, so I'm trying really see because it doesn't say. I mean, does it mention if the other two were nude? Were they dressed up as knights too?
No.
Or we have no idea. So see, it just leaves, and then so I'm like, is it one of the tiny little Jeeps? Is it a Barbie dream car? Is it? I mean, there was lots of little tiny cars,
decently sized.
Yeah, I mean, but it's in an apartment.
Yeah.
There are so many missing details here that my brain is grabbing onto the scraps and is just running with it. Because, I know people who actually have knight costumes because they participate in jousting and do different things. And I know how heavy that stuff is.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out, the mannequin. It just, oh my God, it somehow, my brain went to two things, like a pink Barbie car, which sort of creeps me out, and then one of those little tiny Jeeps. And then I'm like imagining our Phyllis mannequin, which is the one with the really big boobs, because it didn't say whether it's a male or female mannequin either in the knight's costume.
I think it said it was male.
Male, okay. And then so we've got a couple different things there, so, that's just... and then you're the officers that arrive at this. I mean, that's it. I mean, if they've got some sort of pool or thing for the most absurd thing that you've opened a door to, that's not, for that year. I mean, this could win for decades.
Oh, Yeah. I am going to do a little more research on this.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because really, I mean, I was cracking up, but now that you bring up all these different things, I just really need to dig in. Let me see if I can get an update for next week.
Yeah, there's got to be, because it's only a week old. So there's got
story.
So there's got to be someone else that delves into that, because you can't not want to know more about two people entangled with a mannequin dressed up like a knight and a toy car.
Yes. So I will keep this in my to-do list.
The thing is, only one car. See, because like I said,
how'd they all three fit, especially if it's a toy?
Yeah,
so many questions.
So yeah, and obviously drunk or belligerent if they're going through there.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, let's end on a confused note this week, shall we?
That wouldn't be out of ordinary, so let's go with it. So we got 2 months down. We'll see you next week in March, everyone.
Okay.